Good evening. My name is Joe Sam Robinson. It's my pleasure to have with us this afternoon President Bill Underwood. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you,
It's
Joe
a
Sam.
great pleasure to have you with us today. And many events have taken place over the years since you've run Mercer. Many years of experience. When did you come, actually?
I started about 20 years ago. It was December of 2025. I was elected president.
Right.
And I began functioning as such in July of 2026.
2026 or something like that.
No, 2006.
2006.
It was almost 20 years ago.
Well, that's that's a tremendously long time for a university president. Is that right?
That's true. The national average is 5 years.
Yes.
These are terrible jobs.
Why are they so? I know there's many good things that come from this position, but why is the longevity so limited, and what are some problems of the job?
Well, I think, for one, you have so many different constituencies
Yes.
that you're responsible to. You're responsible to students
Yes.
and their parents. You're responsible to your faculty and staff. You're responsible to your trustees. You're responsible to alumni. You're responsible to the political climate.
Yes.
And frequently those different constituencies demand different things. So it's challenging to balance all that. And I think a lot of people have difficulty doing that.
Well, so you have to be sort of a negotiator and soothe the raging beast sometimes when people get very intense. Do they not about what they want from the university?
They do, and you've got to have the intestinal fortitude to take it when people are upset with you.
And I think you have to say no.
Yes.
Is that quite that's quite a gift, is it not?
You have to say no, and you have to mean it, and you have to say no to people who are really upset. I'll tell you, during COVID,
Yes.
I knew our students wanted to be back on campus.
Yes.
I knew they never wanted to leave campus.
Yes.
And so we were the last school in the state to close. Everybody
Yes.
closed.
Yes.
And we were determined to reopen.
Yes.
So I had medical school scientists helping me. I had our infectious disease doctors
Yes.
helping me. And with their help, we were the first to reopen.
Yes.
But you wouldn't believe
Right.
the flack we took.
It's like
over
you were
that.
murdering people or putting.
And they told me, they said, "You're a killer." And the truth is, nobody died, and we reopened safely, and I'm really proud of that. But that was difficult.
Well, as Kipling's "If" or whatever, you have to keep your head when all those around you are losing theirs. That's quite a skill, isn't it? So
it is a skill.
Now, if you had help in doing this, you have your sort of cabinet.
Yeah. I've had the finest cabinet that anyone could have. I've had Jim Netherton, who was a former college president himself.
Yes.
And had been an executive vice president at a prominent large school and a provost at another fine school. I've had Penny Elkins, who's an amazing leader herself. I've just had a great team. Scott Davis, who was the finest provost I've ever worked with, and like during COVID.
Yes.
That team met every single day.
Wow.
And studied how we could reopen as quickly as possible and as quickly as would be safe. And I'm just really proud of working with those people.
Well, you have to wear a lot of hats in your job, do you not? And it's not an easy task just financially to run a private university in Georgia. I mean, it's quite difficult, isn't it? I mean, a lot of financial issues, getting students there, all the shell fire that exists. and also I think improving the ambiance of the university. Where in Macon, I think you've really done something extraordinary in regards to that. Is that fair? I'll tout your accomplishments, but
Well,
certainly,
I think, look, in terms of Macon,
yes,
I think we have recognized that you cannot build a great university in a community that is decaying.
yes,
And so one of our tasks has been to revive Macon and make Macon the great city it has been
Yes.
and is today.
well,
And you've been a part of that, Joe. Sam, you were a pioneer. You moved back into downtown
yes,
Macon
yes,
when other people weren't doing it, and
yes,
we've been committed to that. We've thought that as downtown Macon goes, so goes Mercer,
yes,
and vice versa. And the good news is that downtown Macon is fantastic today,
it's flourishing.
and the university's flourishing, and I think they go hand in hand.
Well, why don't you mention some of your accomplishments? I know you're restrained about this, but I'll insist on it. So, I mean, like the medical schools, new campuses, the enrollment of the medical school.
Yeah, the medical school had 240 MD students
Yes,
on one campus, and today we have nearly 720
wow,
MD students on campuses in Macon and Columbus and Savannah.
wow,
And we've got clinical campuses in Valdosta
yes,
and in Carrollton today.
yes,
And we've got a network of rural medicine clinics.
yes,
And I think the goal is we want to ensure that one day your access to health care does not depend on your zip code.
yes,
And I think that the Mercer School of Medicine is going to make that a reality. And I think, Joe Sam, you and I will live to see that a reality.
Well, I hope so. I hope that'll be the case. Well, it's,
I mean, I'm really proud of the work they're doing.
well, I think reasonably so. Reasonably so. Now apparently you're stepping down. Is that correct? I hope is that the story, or is yes, no?
Well, I mean, I view it as stepping up.
Okay.
I
Well,
was
what are your plans?
I
in the
was
future?
I was a law professor at one time, and I agreed to do this work,
Yes.
and this has been important and rewarding and meaningful work. But I always dreamed
Yes.
of going back and teaching law school again,
Yes.
and so I'm going to do that. So people say you're stepping down. I think, well,
Wrong-
no, I'm
wrong phrase.
I'm stepping
Wrong
up,
phrase.
and I'll tell you, I honestly believe this.
Yes.
The most important work in a university takes place in our classrooms and in our laboratories, not in my office.
Yes. So,
So I'm getting back to the most important work of the university when I'm going back into our classrooms.
now, I think
Now, there is important work that goes on in my office.
yes.
Several years, I want this on the record.
Okay.
Several years ago, more than a decade ago, Joe Sam Robinson came into my office, and he said, I want you to think about starting a football program. Joe Sam played at Harvard in his days, and he said, I want you to think about a football program. And he painted a picture for me that day, sitting in my office, of a beautiful fall day, crisp and sunny, and Mercer's out on the field playing, somebody from the Ivy League.
Yes.
And I thought, I like that picture. And last year, when we were out on the field on a beautiful sunny fall day, playing Princeton, that was Joe Sam's vision and he sold me on it, and I'll be forever grateful to Joe Sam, and I think this community will be. That's one of the great things that Joe Sam Robinson has done for this community. You know, people don't know that Joe Sam, was a great physician and a faculty member at the Harvard School of Medicine. And he could have stayed there in Boston and had, an unbelievable career. And he decided he wanted to come home. And he came home to Macon, and he bought a house in the downtown area of Macon. And he set himself to providing a quality of medical care to Macon that wasn't here, and providing, helping revive our downtown. And I think Joe Sam Robinson is one of the great unsung heroes of Macon, Georgia. It's been such a privilege for me to work with him. He's a trustee at our university, and it's such a privilege for me to get to work with Joe Sam and associate with him. And I think the story of his impact on Macon is not a well-told story. And I don't want to leave this show tonight without at least reminding people of the impact that this great man has made on his hometown.
Well, thank you so much for that, Bill. I think there's an art form to receiving compliments, and there's several. One can have several strategies. I can say, I can deflect or do whatever. I mean, I'm not sure what the right strategy is. I'd say most
I think
of that,
this right strategy.
almost all of that has a patina of truth about it. Not all of it, but it's a lot of it. So thank you so much for the good wishes and compliments. And one way to, which I think is quite appropriate, is to just mention what you've accomplished, which is way, way up there in the stratosphere. I'm just a little squirrel jumping around. But
that's not true.
But actually, you've done such a great thing, and I think in general, there's everybody that I know that talks about Macon and Mercer and your role in those communities. They say, "Wow, Bill, I don't know how if we can live without Bill in that position." Literally, I mean that's true. One great thing after the next, so extraordinary judgment and ability to do it. And it's a really unusual skill. Maybe it was honed in the courtroom. Maybe there's some way that this skill came to fruition. Now, maybe I'll make this comment. When you made your journey through life, I believe you had an experience working on the docks in California. You were unloading ships in Southern California, and so you've seen issues in the world. Your journey through life has given you a certain amount of wisdom and experience, which is not so common. But what about loading ships and unloading ships and meeting people right there, hard at work, hard-working people? Do you have any thoughts about what insights that gave you?
Well, you're describing. I was a freshman at Michigan State University many years ago, and I didn't like it, and I thought it was a waste of my time, and I went to what was the cool place to be at that time, which was Southern California.
Yep.
And I didn't know anybody there. I didn't have any money.
Yes.
And I drove up to this place and told them I needed a job.
Yes.
And they hired me.
Wow.
And so, yes, I worked for a time unloading banana boats.
Oh, wow. That's really something.
And it was a great experience for me. Yes. One, I did meet people that I would not otherwise have met.
Yes.
And I think that's been a very positive thing for me. I think that frequently, I'll say this sounds sexist, but I think frequently young men in
Yes.
particular mature a little bit later than
Yes.
young women. And sometimes we benefit from taking a year or two
Yes.
outside of the ordinary experience. And, for me, it was this time working as a longshoreman. For some, it's
Yes.
time in the military.
Yes.
But it helped develop me. And when I went back to college after those 2 years, I had a better idea of why I was going
Yes.
and what I was seeking to accomplish. And it was good for me.
Yes.
When you went to Harvard,
Yes.
you didn't have that kind of experience, but you played football at Harvard.
I had some experience.
And
that's
that
right.
that was a growing and expanding
Yes.
experience for you, and it probably is part of the reason that you're as successful as you've been today, is that experience, which is outside the norm for most young men.
Well, that's right. And so we can think about our society and what makes it a better place, and the greatest generation. The military plays a big role in it, and also standing up to travail, standing up to demons. It's a skill and necessity for the world to be able to do that. And actually, males, in many ways, are programmed to do that. The problem is discovering the demon. So that's the difficulty. They're programmed to joust with demons and physically joust with them, I would say. And the demons that appear in the world are more subtle and more circuitous than just going to choke an alligator or whatever. The things that happen, evil words passed back and forth. How are you going to respond to life's challenges? That's quite a skill. And I think one of the things you've done is transmitted some of that wisdom to the structure of Mercer. And I think one particular thing that I think is of consequence is the idea that you can have a civil conversation on controversial subjects and try and get wisdom about how you should proceed as you go forward. And people are these days quite opinionated, so much so they injuring a person they disagree with is not too far away. And to be civilized, university education should do that, and also to be able to see other points of view. And I think one issue about your time on the piers is seeing other people in another environment, and what can happen. And I think one issue is creating an elite class of people that extract themselves from the rest of the world, and it might not be a financial, it might be a intellectual group of people, or whatever it is. So the sense of community can be troubled a lot by that. And I think Mercer has made a big effort under your leadership to open doors of communication. And the University of Chicago, do you have any thoughts about their
Yeah,
program?
I mean, nothing is more important for us today than trying to encourage people to be able to engage with folks that they might seriously disagree with, and really talk about those disagreements. It's more difficult
Yes.
than when you and I were growing up.
Right.
And I think these social media platforms and all that's associated with those make it more difficult, because you're steered through the algorithms that they
Yes.
use to people that agree with you.
Yes.
And it's very easy to find yourself in a silo where everyone you're engaging with is
Yes.
someone who agrees with your perspectives. and that's not healthy.
Yes.
I think it's very important for all of us to engage with differing perspectives,
Yes.
and it's especially important for young people to engage with different perspectives, in part because they can re-examine their own views if they're really listening to what other people
Yes.
think, and they can help influence the views of other people. So I think it's the single most important challenge facing our culture as a democratic society today.
Yes.
I think that much of the political violence that's talked about today and that we see evidence of is driven by people who are not engaging with other perspectives in a constructive way. I think much of the violence that we see in our society is driven by people who are not engaging with other perspectives. And it's the number one challenge, I think, facing our democracy. It's the number one challenge facing our culture. And if I'm going to be responsible as a higher education leader, then it's got to be a challenge that I'm spending time, energy, and effort addressing. I invite speakers to campus who
Yes.
have perspectives that I know are unpopular.
Yes.
And when I have folks with different perspectives on campus demanding
Yes.
that I disinvite them, I throw those demands in my trash can, because we've got to be able
Yes.
to hear and think about different perspectives. And if we don't hear them and think about them, we're not in a position to say they're not right.
Yes.
And Joe Sam and I are in a palaver group together.
Yes.
And we've got people with different perspectives in that group,
Yes.
and so far we haven't hit anyone.
But no fist fights.
There's no fist fights, and I think in those kinds of groups, as well as in our campus community, you've got to have different perspectives being heard.
Well, and that's a normal human situation, particularly in a time of change. If you look, you can examine your life, my life, go back, and the extraordinary changes that have happened just everywhere in the world. There are 8 billion people here, and how is our species going to adapt, particularly with the predispositions to injure one another? That's a very deep-seated human failing. Is the idea of the in-group, the out-group, people that are different than me, they're an enemy in some ways, and the commonality of our time on Earth should be the number one issue that we respect. It's a real difficult time, and the university is playing a role, I think a very important one. Now I'll ask this question. Have you ever considered politics, Bill? Can I put your name in somewhere? I mean, obviously, I'm just going to make my truthful opinion about this. You've got great virtues, great skills, great talents, and the political class, if I've got to be too tough on them, but could use a person of your perspective. I know it's just not a path many people want to go down, but I will say you certainly would do something great if that opportunity came your way. I'll say.
I will say this: no, I will not do that.
Oh, you won't.
But I think fortunately here in Georgia, I think we've been blessed with
Yes.
some people that are good and
Yes.
thoughtful political leaders, and I'll just mention that I think Nathan Deal was a very fine
Yes,
and
yes.
thoughtful governor. He's a trustee at Mercer,
Right, yes.
and a close friend, and I don't always agree with
Yes.
Governor Deal,
Right.
but I know that he's
Yes.
thinking,
Right.
and I've seen him make decisions that I know are the reflection of him considering the perspectives of people that he didn't initially agree
Yes.
with,
Yes.
but thinking about them and being persuaded by them. And I think Brian Kemp is the same
Yes.
way. I think he's thoughtful, and so I think we're more fortunate here than maybe some places are in
Yes.
terms of the political leadership that we've had, and I think that's one reason that Georgia is a thriving state.
Yeah, it is. It's doing quite well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if I can't tempt you into the political world, I mean, it is. Maybe it should be a little nicer experience to be in politics, but maybe that's just impossible.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been nice, but I think to be willing to take that on.
Yes.
One, you've got to be very committed to public service, and I think both you and I are.
Yes.
But I think you've maybe got to have, you can't do it without, a desire to be in the spotlight.
That's a certain narcissistic quality
Yeah.
is that's
you
not
can't-
an abnormal thing.
Yeah,
to
and
me,
you-
it's somewhat narcissistic. I mean, you've got your viewpoints. I believe my viewpoints are correct, or something like that. You have to have some sense of self-confidence.
You do, and you can't do it without that. And I'm grateful that we have people that are willing to do
Yes.
that and who have that quality. And I don't have that quality. I'm not. I mean, it's great being on this show with you, but it's not like a driving
Right.
desire of mine to be in the public eye.
Right. And many people would be turned away by the eye of the general public.
Yeah.
It certainly. I think often people in the public eye don't want to be in the public eye, and they sort of very cautious about
Yeah.
going to supermarkets, if I could say that.
Yeah.
Well, as you look at look forward to the future, what role do you see for Mercer in the next decade?
So I think Mercer already is one of the finest undergraduate educations available in the country. I
Yes.
think that the quality of undergraduate research at Mercer is unique.
Really? So,
I think it's astounding, the research accomplishments by our undergraduates. I think that, number one, our ability to combine research and service in meaningful ways is very important, and I think providing that quality of undergraduate experience to students is essential. I think the medical school's mission is essential. Yes. I've said that they're committed to ensuring that access to health care does not depend on your zip code, and I know that they're going to make that a reality. And I think they're going to set a model for the rest of the country. I think it's a noble and great mission. People that live in rural communities, I mean, these are the people that feed us.
yes.
They're the people that put clothes on our back. They deserve to have the same access to health care that people who live in urban communities have. And I think that the Mercer University School of Medicine is going to make that a reality. So I think I'll be teaching at the law school.
Yes.
I think that when I look around Georgia and I look at the judges
Yes.
in county seats, they're predominantly Mercer graduates.
go.
And I look at the district attorneys
Yes.
in these county seats. They're predominantly Mercer graduates. And I think these are people that are making society work.
Yes.
And I think we play an outsized role in graduating people that play those important roles. So I think Mercer's got a great heritage. I think it's got a great future, and I'm really proud to have been, a part of that for the last 20 years. And I'll say this: Mercer is guided by a board of trustees, and these are the people that hold this institution in trust for the people of this state and this region. It's an incredibly important responsibility to volunteer to hold this institution in trust. And we've been blessed with tremendous trustees through the years. People like Augustus Boodle, who was the judge that ordered the integration of the University of Georgia. He was a longtime Mercer trustee. And Griffin Bell, the former Attorney General of the United States, who restored the reputation of the Department of Justice for independence after the Watergate scandals, was a longtime Mercer trustee. And Nathan Deal and other governors. Zell Miller was a Mercer trustee. Joe Sam Robinson is a Mercer trustee. And these are people that take their responsibilities for this institution seriously, as I do. I think Mercer's incredibly important for Macon and the community in which we live. I think it's incredibly important for the state of Georgia. And I think the responsibility of keeping this institution on mission and ensuring that it's healthy financially and ensuring that it's healthy in terms of commitment to its mission is important to lots of people. And I'm grateful that Joe Sam has accepted this responsibility. He's in his second term, maybe third term as a trustee at Mercer. And it's been, an incredible privilege for me to be a part of this work with such great colleagues. So thank you, Joe Sam.
Well, thank you, Bill. And if we had other people here, I'll clap for all you've done. And we certainly wish you well. And your time in the vineyard is not ended. So I know, remember that. So the good Lord may expect other things from you. So be ready. Be ready. So thank you for coming tonight. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks. Good. Thank you, Bill.